everybody. This week we will start a new chapter, Chapter 3, Supply and Demand. In Chapter 1 and Chapter 2, we learn a general idea about what is economics and what the United States economics looks like. And since our class is microeconomics, and we do need to know what is consumer and producer's behavior. So starting from this chapter, you will find a lot of concepts, and you will feel it's hard. But if you try to link what we learned in this class to the real life, and you will find, wow, it's really not that hard. So to start this chapter, I want you to think about the one market. It's gasoline market. So how many of you have the cars? I bet everybody, at least your family, at least have one car, right? So the neat thing about the gasoline price is that the great big board outside the station that allows you to keep constant track of how the price of gas changes. Sometimes it go up, sometimes it go down. And do you know what's the price for today? And you can check it out after today's video. So you want to ask, why do gasoline price fluctuate so much, and what causes its price to rise to fall? So have you ever think about why the price go up? Is that because the gasoline station manager, he won't let it go up? Definitely not. So what is the invisible hand behind the price? And you want to know the answer, right? So we will learn in this chapter. So the goal of this chapter is to explain how supply and demand really work, such as what determines the price of a good or service, how does the price of the product affect its production and consumption, and why do prices and the production levels often change. So think about your own experience in the grocery store. If today you see the favorite bread brand, the price goes down, what's your strategy? Definitely you will buy a lot and store it in the fridge and wait and use it next week or the day after next week before the food gone bad, right? So obviously when the price go down, the consumer will intend to buy more, right? And when the price goes up, the consumer tend to buy less. So now you are the consumer. Think about if you're a producer. You produce the bread. If you see the market price of the bread going up, what's your strategy? You definitely will want to produce more, right? Because you can earn more money. So now in this class, we want to learn deeper reason why we will see the price goes up, consumer want to buy more, the price goes down, the consumer want to buy less. And why the price goes up, the producer want to produce more, the price goes up, the producer want to produce less. So learning objectives for this chapter, we want to know the nature and the determinants of the market demand. So what will decide the market demand? So what will affect the consumer's behavior? And know the nature and determinants of the market supply. And we want to know what will affect the producer's producing strategy. And also we want to know how market prices are established. So we have consumer and a supplier, but now we have a price, like the gasoline price. So what will decide the market price? And we want to know what causes market price to change. So you can see the price up and down, and what will cause the price go up and go down. And we also want to know government price control affect market outcomes. So this is the objective of this chapter. After learning this chapter, you should know this core concept, the circular flow. So in the circular flow, it includes two markets for participants. So you need to know what are those two markets for participants. And also you need to know the goals for 4 different participants. So like us, each of them go to the school, have different purpose, but every time we're doing something, we have our own goals. So we want to know the four participants in the market, what are their goals. And also want to know what is market. So it's familiar for you, market. Every day you talk about the market, but what is the definition for market? And we also want to know the demand, the definition for demand, the demand schedule and curve, law of the demand, and the demand determinants. And I want to know how to shift the curve and how cause the curve have the movements. And we want to know the difference between the market demand and the individual demand. And finishing the demand side, the consumer side, we need to consider about the producer side. So for the producer, they are affected by the supply curve. So we want to know the determinant of the supply and the load of the supply and the market supply. So what's the linkage between the individual firm's supply curve and the market supply? And we also want to know why the supply curve will shift and why at some point the price can move along the curve. And also we know supply and demand. We want to know at what point the market price will fixed. So when the market price fixed, we will have the equilibrium. So now you don't know what's equilibrium, but at the end of this week, you should know what is equilibrium. And also you need to know when we have the disequilibrium, what will be the market response, and also if the government caused the disequilibrium in the market, and what kind of policy tool we can call it. So that will be related to the price floor and price ceiling. And for the response of the market, we have the market surplus and market shortage. So that is the core concept of this chapter. At the end of this week, you should have the clear idea about what are they.